Hey guys, and welcome to the battle phase. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at combos for this budget Crusadia Dragonling deck. So our first combo is our bread and butter combo. We'll try to perform every single time, and that requires you to open any two Crusadia monsters. In this case, we're going to be using Crusadia Arborea and Crusadia Maximus. A level 4 or lower Dragon Extender, and we have a full deck of those. And it can be it can be black or white dragon, it can be rocket caliber, it can be quick launch, it can be all of some of the specific extenders we run like Dragon Shrine, Unexpected Die, and Living Fossil, and so on. Any of those and any other card in the hand as a discard will do this full combo. So also for the Crusadias, we run 3 copies of every single Crusadia, because the cool thing about them is the first Crusadia you draw is going to be your normal summon, your starter, and every other Crusadia you draw is going to be your extender. So for that reason, this combo, even though it looks like a lot of cards, is very consistent in this deck. So now we're going to perform the combo, and you will see even for a budget deck that this combo takes quite a punch to your opponent. So let's start off by normal summoning our first Crusadia. So we're gonna normal summon the Crusadia Maximus here and immediately link him away. So we're gonna go link 1 here into obviously our Crusadia Magius right there. And at this point, we're gonna trigger the effect of Crusadia Arborea in hand to special summon her to a zone link monster points to. At this point, we can trigger Magius and search our Crusadia Draco to our hand. Crusadia Draco is very important because he is a dragon, so he's gonna kickstart our Dragon Link plays. From here on, we are gonna go 2 monsters, and we're gonna go Link 2 here, and special summon our artifact Dagda here. So you can already see where this is going. Now we're gonna activate Draco and special summon him to a zone link monster points to, and that's gonna trigger Draco as chain link 1, and then trigger artifact Dagda as chain link 2. So first we're gonna resolve Dagda. Dagda is gonna obviously get this side from our deck and set it to our field. And then Draco is going to add a Crusadia from our graveyard back to our hand. Make sure you add back the Crusadia you normal summoned, because that is the one you can special summon for its effect, okay, later on. Now we're gonna go link 1, so Crusadia Draco. I'm just gonna link that away into our Striker Dragon and trigger Striker Dragon effect. Striker Dragon effect is going to search our Boot Sector launch from our deck to our hand. At this point, we need to activate our Dragon Extender in our hand. Since this is Rocket Caliber, we can special summon him to a zone Dark Link monster points to, and we are immediately linking him away. Link 1 into Guard Dragon Pisty, and now 2 Link monsters point to the same zone, so we can trigger Pisty and special summon our Crusadia Draco from the graveyard, who's not gonna stay there for long because we're gonna go Guard Dragon Pisty and Crusadia Draco. That's gonna be a link 2, and that's more importantly gonna be 2 dragons to special summon our Dragoonity Knight Romulus. Okay? At this point, we're gonna trigger Dragoonity Knight Romulus, who is gonna add Dragon Ravine to our hand, just like that. At this point, we can now activate the effect of Crusadia Maximus. Don't forget we normal summoned him, so this means we still haven't used his effect to special summon him to a zone a link monster points to. Now we're gonna go ahead and activate Dragon Ravine. Activate Dragon Ravine and discard any card from our hand, so this can be anything, in order to use Dragon Ravine's effect to send Absolute Dragon to the graveyard, and that triggers Absolute Dragon, adding us to our hand the Rocket Tracer. At this point, we're gonna, instead of Dragon Ravine, activate Boot Sector Launch, activate its effect, and special summon the Rocket Tracer for our hand. And now it is time we start building our end board. Even though this seems like a lot of monsters, now we have some intricate lines we have to take if we want the specific end board we're going for. And that line is going to require us to overlay Crusadia Maximus and Rocket Tracer, 2 level 4s, into Dugares, okay? Now we can activate Dugares' effect, detaching the Rocket Tracer to the graveyard to special summon back Crusadia Draco to our field. Now what this did is this made sure that we've put our Rocket Tracer in the graveyard before we make Borderland Dragon, which is important, as you will see, because we're going to trigger his effect, and gave us a dragon body on the field. So now we can go link 2, and link 1 with the Dugares, and that is link 5. And we're gonna summon the first piece of the end board, that's Borderland Dragon. Very important to summon Borderland Dragon to the zone Striker Dragon points to, because this zone needs to remain empty to summon spheres in here, because spheres, in order for spheres to be live, it needs to be in the extra monster zone. But yes, continuing on from here, we're going to activate Borderland Dragon's effect, target Striker Dragon to negate its effect and special summon back the Rocket Tracer. You see, that's why it was important to send the Rocket Tracer to the graveyard. And now we can go link 2, so we're going to link away the Striker Dragon and Crusadia Draco here. That's going to be link 2, and that's going to be 2 dragons, very important here, to summon our Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres into the extra monster zone. Okay, that's why Dugares was so important, because he gave us the dragon body to go into spheres while allowing our tracer to stay on the field so that the tracer can trigger its effect. Okay, and the effect is going to be, we're going to pop a card on the field, that's going to be our boot sector launch, in order to special summon a rocket from our deck. That's going to be Rocket Caliber. Now, here you may say, oh, we have a level 4 tuner and a level 4 tuner, we can't go into Borreload Savage Dragon, but we can't anyway, because this is a budget deck, so we don't have access to him. But what we do have is the fact that we're locked into Darks, but we can still go to monsters, so link 2, and none of them is a link monster, so we can summon our IP Masquerena. Okay, and this will be our full end board. It doesn't look that impressive, but it actually is, because at this point we pass our turn to our opponent. We're gonna start by activating Sphere's effect. So Sphere's effect is gonna tribute itself in order to bounce a card on our opponent's field, so that's our first interruption. But more importantly, it's gonna special summon a dragon from our deck, and that's gonna be Grand Tusk Dragon, a new card from the Power of the Elements, and he will pop up to 2 cards on the field, and we're gonna pop 1 card our opponent controls, and more importantly, the artifact Scythe on our side of the field, which will summon back the Scythe and Scythe lock our opponent. So till here, we have bounced the card, popped the card, and now Scythe locked our opponent. And now comes the best part about this, is that we still have the Borderland Negate, so the Borderland Negate is going to special summon back Rocket Tracer as well, but more importantly, if we use it, but more importantly, we now have a lot of bodies on the field, so we can go IP Masquerena, who is a link 2, Artifact Scythe as a link 1, and Grand Tusk Dragon as link 1. This is link 4, and now we can also link one of our opponent's monsters in order to link summon the Underworld Goddess during our opponent's turn, using the IP Masquerena. And then you can also use the Borderland Dragon as well. So that is the full combo, and that's what the full combo does. So a bounce, a Scythe lock, a pop, and then the summon of the Underworld Goddess during our opponent's turn, and the negate from Borderland Dragon. But now you might say, okay, this is a good combo, but you have used Dugares during this combo. So you have to skip your next main phase 1. Okay, which is not ideal, especially since we play Borrelsword Dragon, right? In order to OTK next turn. Well, the deck is built in a specific way that you don't have to use Dugares all the time. And I'm gonna show you how right now, because we run some certain extenders. So if you're gonna open some certain extenders we have in the deck that are not Rocket Caliber, you will be able to circumnavigate the usage of Dugares. And now we're gonna revert a little back, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So avoiding Dugares is now gonna take a specific extender just instead of the level 4 or lower dragon extender. And those 2 extenders can be either Unexpected Die, which we run 3 copies of, or the Dragon Shine, which we run 3 copies of. So I'm now gonna show the version with the Unexpected Die. Everything else is exactly the same. So the first thing we do, because we control no monsters, is we have to activate the Unexpected Die, and that's gonna summon our level 4 or lower normal monster here to the field, and we can summon him here. So we're gonna choose Vector Pendulum this time. From here on, we can then combo as we did before. At this point, it is only important that we now use our level 4 or lower dragon, normal dragon, as an extender in order to go link 1 and make Bystial. But that now makes sure that our level 4 our normal monster is in the graveyard, and you will see why is that relevant very soon. Now we're at the point where we came to the same end board position as before, but now we can use our 2 level 4 monsters to overlay, and not for Dugares, but for the Emeral. The Emeral. And now we're going to use the Emeral's effect, detach the Tracer to use his second effect, target one non-effect monster in your graveyard, and special summon him back. And now we are on the same board state as before, except that we used Emeral because we had a level 4 normal monster in our grave, who is a dragon, of course. We're on the same board state as before, except we don't have to skip our next main phase. So if we interrupt our opponent well, we can next main phase indeed go for that Boros or Dragon, or do anything we actually want in our main phase because we don't have to skip it. That's why deck is built in a certain way that we want to do this, that we want to get our normal dragon monster to the graveyard if we can, so we can avoid Dugares. But you will see how the deck is built in the deck profile that is linked below. But now we can, from here, do our typical land board. And we have now achieved the same end board as before without skipping our next main phase. But there is still one question that remains. And that is, we have made the Emeral and Dugares with the Rocket Tracer and Crusadia Maximus, so 2 level 4 monsters. But not all Crusadias are level 4. Reclusia, Lioness, Arborea are all level 3 monsters, right? So what can you do if you don't open Maximus? If you open, for instance, the 2 level 3 monsters? Well, that is going to require a certain other line of extension, so let me show you exactly how it's done. This time we will open 2 level 3 Crusadias, so Reclusia and Leonis, a level 4 lower dragon extender as before. This could be Rocket Caliber as before, but this time we're going to use Quick Launch for a little bit of diversity, and a discard as before. So let's see how we would perform this kind of combo. So let's quickly cruise through it. As before, the combo is performed exactly the same up until the point where we have to make Dugares or Emeral with 2 level 4 monsters. Obviously now we don't have those, so the situation is going to change a little bit. Okay, now we are at the point where we cannot make Dugares because we have a level 3 and a level 4, but what we do have is a level 3 non-tuner and a level 4 tuner. So we're going to go ahead and synchro summon with 3 and 4. We're going to have a level 7, and now we're going to special summon the Power Tool Dragon. We're going to use Power Tool Dragon's effect as a level 7 synchro, reveal 3 equip spells from our deck, 3 copies of Living Fossil, and then 1 is going to be added to our hand. The rest go back. At this point, we have our Rocket Tracer in the grave, and by activating our Living Fossil, we can indeed special summon the back Crusadia Draco, which makes this board the same as before. Tracer in the grave and a dragon on the field. Okay, from here, we can finish the board normally. And with Scythe, that is the same end board as before. To say the Living Fossils we run in this deck for Power Tool Dragon are not breaches because they function as extenders on their own. So this is how you can get to this end board by basically opening any 2 Crusadia monsters. The perk of running the Crusadia engine in Dragon Link is not only the added consistency, but also another one. So we said that we need any 2 Crusadias, a Dragon Extender, and a discard in order to perform the full combo. But another perk of this engine is by replacing the discard here with either Parallel Exceed, Format Skipper, or 1-for-1, we can also protect this combo from hand traps. Okay, if you open Parallel Exceed, it's gonna be before the 5th summon, so also against Nibiru. If you open Format Skipper, it will sadly be after the 5th summon, but it will protect you from all of the other hand traps to the duration of the whole combo. Now you might say, this is for specific cards, this is very, very inconsistent. But it's not that bad, because this can be any 2 Crusadia monsters, and we run all of them at 3. This can be any dragon extender, which we run a ton of, and this can be one of either 3 exceed, 3 skipper, or 3 1-for-1. I mean 1-1-for-1 because it's limited, yeah. Would definitely run it at 3 if I could, but yeah, or 1-1-for-1. So this is actually not that inconsistent. In fact, it happens 25% of the time. So every 4th game, you will be hand-trap protected. Now let me show you how exactly do you apply that hand-trap protection, and let's, for instance, show you with the format skipper this time. So I'll put back the rest of these back. So this combo now starts with normal summon of the format skipper here. And in this case, we're gonna now reveal the Crusadia Magus from our extra deck in order to make format skipper a Crusadia monster. Now, what if your opponent imperms or veilers here? You're stuck with a format skipper on the field and you can't do anything. Well, that's the reason why we run the Linkuriboh in the deck. If this gets impermed, you can just link the format skipper into Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh has an arrow down and you can use your Crusadias to extend. Okay, so Linkuriboh is quite important here. But if we do not get hand trapped here, we are going to link the format skipper that's now a Crusadia into Magus. Okay, at this point we're gonna trigger format skipper because he was used as a link monster to add the parallel exceed like this to our hand. From here we are gonna special summon the Leonis here. That's gonna trigger Magus's effect, adding Crusadia Draco to our hand as always. Now we're gonna go link 2 into artifact Dagda, and at this point here now we trigger our parallel exceed dragon, special summoning it here, and then parallel exceed dragon's effect is going to special summon another parallel exceed dragon from our deck, making both level 4, and then of course Dagda will set the site here. Okay, at this point we can unleash our secret weapon by using both of our parallel exceeds that are level 4 to summon a level 4 monster, and that is going to be Traptrix Rafflesia. As soon as we establish Traptrix Rafflesia, we are immune to hand traps because we quickly detach one of the parallel exceeds if a hand trap appears, and we can send Gravedigger's Trap Hole from our deck to the grave so that the Traptrix Rafflesia gains the effect of the Gravedigger's Trap Hole and negates the hand trap. So from here on, as long as Traptrix Rafflesia is on the field, we are hand trap proof. And once we have this protection, we can now combo off normally as before without having to worry about hand trap. In the background, you can see the reminder of the combo, except this time Dragon Shrine is used as an extender, which grants us access to Destrudo, who then extends our plays. But not only that, Dragon Shrine also sets up a normal monster in a graveyard, which we can bring back with the Degusto Emeral line without skipping our next main phase for Dugares. And now we have established the same end board as before, only being hand trap protected by Rafflesia. Again, if you open Parallel Exceed, this could be before summon number 5, so it would also be Nibiru proof. Just a quick demonstration here that opening Parallel Exceed instead of Format Skipper in your opening hand gives you the Traptrix Rafflesia live on the field before summon number 5. If you do not use your Traptrix Rafflesia during the combo to protect yourself, she will be available during your opponent's turn as an extra interruption because Gravedigger's Trap Hole is still in your deck and can be sent to the graveyard. So that's another nice perk of the Crusadia engine, consistency and hand trap protection. So this has been the Crusadia Dragon Link combo tutorial, very budget, and of course with the Dugares, Degusto Emeral, and Power Tool Dragon adapted for the post-banlist format. Of course, no Halq, no Chaos Ruler did hurt the deck, as you can see, but we found ways around that. So even though it may seem that the combos displayed in this video require a lot of cards to pull off and may not be the most consistent thing, it is important to note that the combos shown in this video are performed to give you the maximum combo output. You're looking to get to this end boards as much as you can, but you won't always get them. The full end boards are Borland, plus IPMS Karina, plus Spheres with the Scythe Lock. It is, obviously the world is not ideal and you won't get to the full end board, but the deck is built in a way that almost every hand will get you at least 2 out of these 3 end board pieces. If you're interested in the deck profile, it will be in the link in the description below. It is very budget. The deck costs main and extra between 30 and 70 bucks or euros, so that's pretty cheap. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.